Hello everybody, welcome. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. And you might be wondering, if you've come live with me, I think it's coming on now, why am I dressed like this? Why do I look different than usual? Well, it's May. And in Greece, we say Kalomina, which means Happy New Month. And on the 1st of May, in Greece, which I didn't know till now, what they do is they make these garlands. They're called Stefania. I have to get the accent in the right place. So we made our own Stefanias today, myself, Nina, and together. And we had a lot of fun. As you can see, mine is a little wayward, but okay, it doesn't matter. Again, it's this Gemini energy coming in of doing things with your hands that you've not done before, doing things that are just a little bit different, trying things. You know, I mean, I must admit, I can play the piano and I can play the violin, but I'm pretty damned hopeless at making things with flowers and hats at the moment. But okay, I thought this might cheer you, might give you a bit of a laugh today. Mars is in Aquarius, so it's a good time for being, you know, a little odd, a little strange. It doesn't matter really, does it? The most important thing is with this Gemini North Node, we begin to find ways to lift ourselves up, to lift your spirits. Gemini is a bit of a trickster. Yes, it'll come and tickle you and, yeah, just play a little joke. And Gemini loves to play on words. So it's always fun. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun with this Gemini energy. I think it's important that we take things seriously. We must do that. But then we've got to have the balance of the two. So we've got all these serious planets in Capricorn, and it is serious, yeah? We're not saying that things aren't serious, they are. But at the same time, we've got to be able to take breaks from the seriousness. Yeah, if you take a break from it, you come back fresh and you can tackle the problems with fresh eyes, with a fresh feeling, with a fresh way of doing things. So people are asking me now, am I legitimate? What on earth am I wearing? It's called a Stefania. It's what we make in Greece on the 1st of May. You see, because I'll show you now, I wasn't going to take this off, but I will take it off. Basically, it's just this on its own, you see, but because I didn't do mine very well, it became too heavy and got a bit too big, so it wasn't going to sit on my head. So, you know, we're just learning. We're learning. I think we have to see that we are in a process of learning, okay? We're learning about the virus. We're learning about ways in which we're going to have to be adaptable and change. And I did say with the North Node coming in Gemini on May the 5th, changing into the signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, we've got to look at the areas in our lives where we've been excessive, overconfident, too much. Yeah, do you need as much as you think you need? That's going to be the question now. And the same for us as humanity, as the new Earth, which is developing. We're in a period of chaos. Chaos is not comfortable. It's not, oh, lovely, marvelous. It's not, it's bloody uncomfortable. But it's also an extremely creative place. Yeah, it's. I don't know if any of you have studied the 5 rhythms of Gabrielle Roth, the dance rhythms. And the middle one is chaos. And you've got to go through chaos to get to the stillness, to the calm at the end. But that's that's another story there. But I think all through May, we're getting retrograde after retrograde after retrograde. So to me, there are going to be one camp of people, again, this twins energy, one camp saying, let's get back to normal. Let's get back to where we were. Let's get back to work. And I can understand that desire to get back to work, to be productive, to do something. Most people like to be productive. Not the banks, not the Federal Reserve, not the central banks. Sorry, they would prefer to print money. I realize I have to be careful about what I say on my channels here, so I will be circumspect about it. I better rein myself in again. The South Node in Sagittarius, where are you going over the top with something? Just rein it in a bit. Rein. Anything beginning with RE, with all these retrogrades. Rein yourself in. I feel a bit like a dog on a lead. Yeah, they're letting us go so far, but not completely free. So I think we've got to be very aware of how far we can go and how far we really should be more cautious. Retrogrades, when I see people who've got a lot of retrogrades in their charts, these are usually people who are much more cautious, especially if you're born with Mercury retrograde. It's not the only signature of caution in a chart. Please let me tell you, it's not the only one. But it is somewhat usually of somebody who, you know, thinks things through much more carefully, much more slowly. And that's what's being asked from us. So we've got this one camp of people who are rushing to somehow, let's get out, let's get everything moving again, let's do it, let's go. And then we've got the other part that's saying, well, hang on a minute. Let's look at Singapore, for example. Singapore was the A1 country, 5 stars, they conquered the virus, they begin to open up, and now poor Singapore has got the longest lockdown so far until the end of June because they had a sudden rush of cases. So I think we've got to be careful. I think that retrogrades indicate a tremendous need for caution, reserve, reassessing, recalculating, restructuring. I think we've got to think very carefully before we act. And I realize it's a very difficult balancing act between getting the economy going and between taking care of people's lives and between not overwhelming the health system. I get that we are juggling some very difficult things, but let me tell you how I feel it looks. If you can imagine a glass that's just shattered into 1,000 of pieces or more, could you put that glass back together again? Probably not. That's what's happened in our world. At least that's how I see it. I could be wrong. You may disagree with me, and that's fine. But when I look at the astrology, and when I look at what's already happened, this does not look as though it is behind us so soon, and we should not be cavalier about this rush. We should be doing it calculatedly, carefully, but more carefully, in my view, so that we don't go back to normal and make things even worse. We've got to create something new. How can you get back? Thank you. You can't get back. Thank you, Sabrina. You absolutely can't get back. Yep. So we've got to go inside. Still a time of going inside. Chaos is going on externally. I read a great quote today. I probably have to paraphrase because I don't remember it exactly. There is chaos externally, but internally, something new is awakening. Something new is coming along. Something new is happening. New for me is to have wonderful Lucy, another pair of hands with me. Hands, notice, Gemini energy. She's helping me here on the live stream. So wonderful. I usually do everything myself. Now I'm learning to share and hand out a little more. Hand out money, hand out things. Thank you, Lucy, for helping here. She's telling you how to like the video, how to do different things you're asking. So look at where we can hand things to one another. I'm reminded of a beautiful quote from the Baal Shem Tov. He was a Jewish mystic and healer. And he said this: a soul enters this world for just 70, 80, maybe 100 years, maybe a little more. I'm paraphrasing there. Just to do a favor for another. So we're really here to help one another, to put hands out for one another. We might not be able to shake one another's hands, but how can you give somebody a hand up, a pull up, a lift up? And we are going to have to get dexterous. Yeah, really dexterous. Yeah, you've seen people juggling things. We're going to have to learn to juggle. Juggle lots of things, because that's what this Gemini node is about. And the North Node is the one we got to move towards. Yeah, the Sag South Node we've been great at. All the debt, all the credit. It's been too easy, guys. Too easy to be able to get credit, to buy a house with 100% mortgage, or even more than 100%. Governments are broke, the banks are broke, countries are broke. Everything has been living beyond its means. I'm not saying everybody has, but in different ways maybe we have been doing that. I know I've not done that financially, but maybe I've been doing it in the way that I've been wasteful. Maybe I've been doing it in the way that I've used my car too often. So I think it's time really now to really think. Yes, skieftome, this is the Greek word. Skieftome, I'm thinking. Yeah, skepsis, a thought, skeptical. Let's be skeptical here. Greek is the root of so much of our language. Let's look at where our language comes from. Let's re-examine everything. So this is what we need to be re-examining. Yes, we're in a recession. You're going to hear more and more talk of recession. Again, the retrogrades. So keep in mind that always during recessions and hard times, there are always opportunities. And we must, with the North Node, stop depending on the nipple of governments. The governments are broke. How else why would they be printing money out of fresh air? They're just adding zeros on a computer screen. They've been doing it for years. 2008, it should have gone. I know I keep promising the video on the money. I'm preparing it. I'm really thinking extremely hard about how to present it and what I need to include in that video, because it's a very important one. So I'm seriously working on that. I'm researching it. I will post about it. So thanks for being patient. So the reflection has to be, I feel, an internal reflection about how you want your life to look. How you want the world to look. So how you want your life to look and feel, and how you want the new world to be. Because we can't pick up those pieces anymore. The more we try and pick up those pieces, the more it's going to fall apart. You know how it is when you've got something that's fragile, you're trying to put it back together again. Sometimes you've just got to put your hands up, and maybe we have to put our hands up here and say we surrender here. Nature, the divine, has got a bigger plan that we don't know. We might think we know, but we better not be overconfident here. We better learn to be respectful. We better learn to respect our planet, to respect one another, to respect our oceans, our animals, our birds. It's the whole ecosystem. So everything has got out of balance. This again is this Sagittarius South Node coming up. We're going to see how out of balance we really are. I think for a while we've not been able to see it. We're going to see it very, very soon. And it's a big, 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 big wake-up call. So let's really think about how we, with our own hands, are not going to be paralyzed by this. Because if you can see that this is a Ponzi scheme with the money, we've got to create an honest system. All these planets in Capricorn, Pluto's still in Capricorn. This is not over for a few years yet, guys. Yeah, it's going to keep changing. I'm not saying we're going to have the same thing, but we're in it together, and we've got to create an honest system, not a Ponzi scheme. And right now, they're printing money for some reason. They've been able to give $10 billion to the banks. Sorry, I nearly swore, but I held it back. And where's the money for the food banks that are desperate for the money? Richard Branson, an entrepreneur who I admire greatly for what he's done. But he's asking for a bailout for his airline. He wants bailing out and he's worth billions. I'm sorry, things just are not adding up. And this again is this questioning. We've got to have honesty and integrity. That is the energy of the lessons of Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. Yeah, we've got an eclipse coming up in Capricorn in the middle of the year. We're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. I'll talk about cryptocurrency in another video with all the videos to do with money. Thank you for asking. So we can see now how quickly we can change our planet. How quickly everything changed. Suddenly, we've got places with no pollution. You can breathe the air in certain cities now that you couldn't do for decades. But now I'm being told, again, I might be wrong, you might have to correct me, but in Wuhan now, where they've got things going, the pollution's pretty much back. It's come back quickly. So we've got to be aware that things can change quickly, positively. Equally, they can change quickly on a negative spiral. I'm seeing this happening sort of in spirals. I've had a lot of feedback about some people saying you don't like me to ask to like the video during the lives. I'm going to ask you from time to time. I won't do it too much, but when you like the video, it helps the YouTube algorithm. I won't lose my track. And to those of you who donate online, which many of you do, you contribute as we're online, I will thank you if I see it. Yeah, I just feel that that's just a natural response. So forgive me for those of you who are coming along later, and if these things annoy you, I will stay focused. You will still have my attention, and I'm right here with you. It's just that we are building a community here. You are my community, you are my family. And community is what we have to move towards. Away from these governments who are broke. Can you see that they are devaluing our currency? The more they print, it means the ones who are closest to it, which is all the banks and their cronies, and the big corporations, they benefit for a while. But the little people, you and me and everybody else, we find that our money doesn't buy anything anymore. inflation, the food prices start to go up, and what used to be a value is no longer a value. This is Uranus in Taurus, the shaking up of value, the shaking up of how we value and who we value. So, wow, I think I need a drink of water for all this. I feel really passionately about this, and I feel passionately because you're drawing this with me. Yeah, I never thought I would be doing so many lives, but people are asking me for lives. So you get me straight from the heart. Yeah, it's not something I can prepare. We're creating this together now. And even those of you who come online later, you are still co-creating with me. Thank you, Pet Mama. So there's a co-creation going on, because when you're online with me later, it's still live and now where you are. So thank you. Thank you. There's been a big response to the likes. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. And yeah, people will be seriously considering liquidating, moving to Greece, moving to different places, and hopefully we will be able to move. But we will be able to do something. The North Node in Gemini, there will be something we can do if we do not capitulate to looking to somebody else like the big governments and big corporations or whatever to help us, because they are not going to be able to. Thank you, Real Leah. Thank you. Yeah, that's the point, is they're not going to be able to with the best will in the world. Thank you, Petra. And maybe every time I say thank you, and if it upsets you here, I'm sorry for those of it does upset, but maybe others it doesn't. Maybe you can just say thank you for something in your life at that moment, because it's really good to practice gratitudes right now, because a lot of the things you've got used to are going to be taken away from you. I don't know if I'm going to go back to the apartment I had in Athens. I don't know. Don't know if things are very unknown. So certain things will be taken away, but then others are given unto. So I'm going to have to correct something because there's a lot going on. Amy, thank you. So then you might, as I say, when I say thank you here now, what am I thankful for? I'm super grateful that you're online with me right now. I'm grateful I had some fun today with creating a lovely laurel leaf hat, which I really love wearing. Thank you, Greta. So being ready to be adaptable, being ready to change, being ready to look strange. But this whole thing that we've got all these abilities at our fingertips. Let's explore them. Let's look at what's at your fingertips. Reach beyond what you normally reach. Stretch beyond what you normally stretch with your hands, but not too far, yeah? It's got to be attached to your physical body. The thing about the Sagittarian energy of overdoing it is we lost track of reality. We overdid it. Now we've got to get real and do things with our hands, plant gardens, create beautiful things. This is the direction with the nodes, changing on the 5th of May. All right? So it's a very significant shift. So I would say not back to normal, but maybe back to the future. And what's the future that we want to create? And yes, thank you. Every time the Fed, thank you, Graham, every time the Fed prints money, it's devaluing the currency, but it devalues all currency. Dara, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. So as we see the currencies getting devalued, they're all going to go to nothing. All right? They are going to go to nothing. Assets are going to drop. Everything's dropping. Stock markets are going to drop. We have to get dexterous and create our own communities. That's my dream. I told you. You are my community here online. But yeah, we've got to learn to grow our own food. We've got to start community gardens, work less time, free energy, natural products, natural medicines. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah. These are already things that we've got to start thinking about. And many of you already have been. Many of you have had this dream. But now we've got to actually bloody do it. And not wait for handouts. Thank you very much, Charity Rose. Thank you, Amy. Okay, so another thing I'm grateful for the internet. I'm grateful I've got hands. I'm grateful I can think. Yeah, okay, let's just think. What are you grateful for? Let's practice the gratitude muscle. It is a muscle. Honestly, it's a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. I've noticed that in my gratitudes every morning now. It's like I can't stop. It used to be really hard at the beginning. Oh, yeah, it was like super hard. Now, and you just build it up. Do we have solid proof they are printing money right now? Well, that's a great question. I don't think we do have any solid proof, but they're certainly bailing out. Thank you, Lemon Low. Thank you. So, Saturn goes retrograde on the 10th of May. And I'm very, very aware. I don't know if you can take me seriously with this on, actually, now that I'm looking. Thank you, Raina, very, very much. Oh, you like my hat? Okay, I'll leave it on. Maybe you don't have to take me seriously, but I feel that some of the things I'm saying are serious. As I said, they are serious. So Saturn going retrograde on the 10th. And it's going back into Capricorn. I think this is a really serious time to take responsibility for ourselves, right? Just to take responsibility for our own lives, for the people around us. Thank you very much, Faranaz. Another gratitude. I'm grateful for my good webcam. I'm grateful that the sound is better. Okay? Yeah, your gratitudes are coming in. Thank you. So, thank you, Despina Dimo. Thank you. So, we've got to find solid, good systems. Things that are where, again, we're a series of hands helping one another. I almost feel like I want some kind of, maybe one of your creative ones for our community could create this, something with hands, but a new brand to do with hands, where we connect. There's a connection of energy, because I feel this is strong. Thank you very much, Jody, Christina, thank you. Please, gratitude for Lucy, who's helping me tremendously with the live chat. Yes, reaching out to one another. You've got one skill, I've got another. Hey, let's swap, let's share, let's help. And we've got to be adaptable. It's this fluidity, because the thing that governments are not, and the Federal Reserve is not, they're not adaptable. They are at the end of their cards. Sylvia, thank you very, very much. They're at the end of the things that they can do. This is the last corral of printing more money. We're going to get probably hyperinflation and then deflation. I'll cover that in a money video for people who are more interested, but that is what is coming, guys. It's down the pike. So, for those of you that do have any money, if you've got a lot of money, get some gold, physical gold, not paper gold. Uranus in Taurus. Taurus wants physical things. It doesn't want the Sagittarius South Node of hyped up nothings. Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you. I've got to give a gratitude. I'm grateful that we've got this medium where we can share more. And we've got so much power. Just think of the hands coming together in prayer. When we come together in prayer, we can create tremendous change. When we come together with an intent of healing, we can create tremendous change. Yeah, we can, and what I love about the Gemini energy, thank you very much, Tana, is that it's cheeky. Yeah, it's a bit cheeky, but it's adaptable, and by goodness, it's going to find a creative way around. When you've got a child who's very Geminian, or you've got a lot of Gemini planets in a chart, or a strong Mercury, these are the people that ask lots of why questions. Why? Why is this? Why is that? I had it today with the company, with my phone company. I get 7 free hours, included hours, not free, to phone my auntie in England. Thank you very much, Sandra. Thank you. I'm so grateful I can make these phone calls internationally, very inexpensively. But when those 7 hours a month are gone, they charge me a ridiculous amount. So I rang her today and I said, look, how many minutes have I used? I think I'm nearly at the end, but could you tell me? Oh, she said, we can't tell you. So what do you mean you can't tell me? You're a tech company. Everything is digitalized. Can't tell me how many minutes I've used? No, it's impossible. What do you mean And I probed her. I kept probing, and I could feel she was squirming away, And I asked another question. I said, well, what if I ended my contract today? I'm sure you'd know how many minutes I used. So we've got to keep pushing for answers. Thank you very much, creative creature. Thank you. Keep pushing for answers. Keep pushing that envelope. Make people uncomfortable if they're not giving you the answers that you think you need. And we need that personally, and we need it together globally. Thank you very much, Ashwin. Thank you. So I'm grateful that I'm thinking a bit more now. I'm pushing myself to think a bit more. Yeah? Yeah, we've got to just push it. And Saturn retrograde is saying, right, whatever is dishonest in your life has got to go. And we've got to reflect on where am I being dishonest? And I contemplate that every day. I try to contemplate at the end of the day. Was I honest in all of my speech? Was I honest in all of my dealings today? Did I exaggerate? Did I over-dramatize? What could I have improved? So this we have to reflect upon. Again, another reflection. And a reflection here, because I realize that maybe somebody's tuning in now right away and going, what is this funny woman doing? Yeah, she doesn't look very plausible in that hat. I think we've got to get away from images of what someone looks like as to how we're going to judge them, seriously or not. Yeah, so we've got to really, really watch this. Thank you very much, Mary Elizabeth. Oh, I'm so grateful for Lucy. She's helping you here. She's my moderator on the live chat. And she's asking you to like the video. So I'm going to ask you to like the video, please, if you wouldn't mind. It enables more people to join us and to join in our community. Because we are power in numbers laterally now. Yeah, we're reaching out laterally. We're not asking upwards. Yeah, we're reaching out to one another. Because remember, Gemini rules the arms, reaching out. So that's what this is about. Reaching out to one another. Thank you, Margarita, Marquita. Thank you very, very much. So I'm grateful to YouTube that we do have a platform, that we've got something where we can communicate. Wouldn't this lockdown be miserable if we didn't have this? It really would. So, the key word here, I feel, is we've got to build using these retrogrades, because Jupiter goes retrograde, on the 14th, and Venus goes retrograde on the 12th. So we've got a lot of things going backwards. So we've got to build resilience. All right, this is a key word. I really feel as though of all the words to be thinking about now is how can we become resilient? How can we say, okay, this is happening, but we're going to find ways around this, and we're going to create a better world than what we've had. That's my dream, my vision here. That what we had was sick, was unhealthy. Yeah, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, not all of it, but let's embrace more of the aspects of medicine, of alternative medicine, of energy medicine, of all energy medicine. I mean, this is going to be huge. Energy is going to be huge. What we do with our energy, how we get renewable energy, how we create free energy because it's already there, and how we learn to become resilient communities, resilient as people, and say, hey, this isn't going to beat me. I might have my moments, but I'm going to come back stronger. I'm going to come back, just better than ever, and fresh and new and inventive. So let me clear up something, because quite a few people have written to me about something I said. I think it was in the New Moon in Taurus video. I said something about Donald Trump. I feel as soon as I even mention the name, it's like trumpeting something out to the world, but okay. I want to say that I can't remember exactly what I said, but I'll paraphrase it. I said that a friend, a colleague of mine, had done an about turn about her opinion or her feeling of Donald Trump. All right? What I should have said, I should have not included him in the equation. What I should have said is that with the nodes going into Gemini and Sagittarius, chances are we are going to be changing our minds. Oh, you'll get a new piece of information and you may change your mind, or you may reflect and say, maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I was wrong about this. So we're going to be sifting and searching. So I'll try not to use examples. Can't promise, because when I'm live, what comes just comes. But at the same time, I don't want to get and will not enter the political arena. Okay, because we're building, what we're building towards, as far as I'm concerned, is something outside of that whole arena, and we're going to build our own communities that are resilient, self-sufficient, and helping one another in different communities, like global hubs, these satellites. I think we're going to develop some amazing mental skills. Gemini is very much the development of the mind, but the conscious mind now. Let's develop the conscious mind, where we can use we can develop tremendous skills that we would not have done if we still depend on governments to help us out with our money, to help us out with this and that and the other, with our health services, with all of these things. It's crumbling. Surely in America, where it's the richest nation in the world, how come you haven't got a health system where everybody, every single human being is covered? How come we've still got massive hunger on our planet when we're supposedly more prosperous than we've ever been? We've got to ask these difficult questions. And what we need are leaders, and I'm sure there are many of you leaders here who haven't yet taken the mantle, but you're going to have to. I hope you will, guys. To be able to match resources with needs. It's not that we don't have food. It's rotting in the fields right now. But nobody's found a way to get it from where it is to where it's needed. So, yeah. What's resonating with you? Thank you, Lucy. You're my partner here. She's marvelous. She's using these retrogrades. She's asking you what's resonating with you here and now. Put it in the chat box, right? Because we're going to use a lot of this information. We're going to disseminate it, and we're going to start some communities. Communities is the way we're going to have to go. Online, and together. Thank you, Yulia, thank you. That is the wave of the future. Uranus in Taurus is the self-sustained communities with honest financial systems, with tangible things. Because banks don't produce anything, guys. They're not productive. We're here to be productive. Isn't it good when you feel productive? You feel as though you are, you do something useful, you get to the end of the day, you say, yeah, I did something that felt useful today. So none of us want to be sitting there doing nothing, not really. Maybe you need a break, sure. But after a while, 99% of us want to contribute, want to give, want to do. So that's what this month is about. It's a reflection. It's a reflective time, and it's a time to build resilience. And we've each got different skills, right? We each got different interests. And it's important to work with where your interests are and where your skills lie. For example, I know that I am not really brilliant at planting things and growing the veggies. I like eating them, but honestly, it's not my strong suit, right? I can do it. If I had to, I would do it. Sure, I would. I'd roll up my sleeves, and I do enjoy doing a little bit of it, but the actual day-to-day doing it, it's not my cup of tea. It's just not my strength. So I'm focusing upon the areas that are my strengths and that I love. Of course, the astrology, sharing information with you, the music, the art, all the things that I know that I can do well, and always improving and always finding new things that I might add to that. But start there, guys. Start there. Oh, and yes, it is so powerful to grow your own food. Thank you very much, Fliss. And we can do it in a community. Yeah, we have to come together. This is this Uranus in Taurus, because it's about entrepreneurial. It's about being entrepreneurial. Yeah, this is going to birth this breakdown of big pharma. Thank you very much, Al Chap. Thank you. This breakdown of what we've known is going to make the way for so many new little seeds to come in with all kinds of amazing ideas and businesses and possibilities. The transition is difficult. I can't make light that this is, oh, easy falling off a log. It's not. Not for any of us. Thank you very, very much, Sandra. Yeah, it's not easy for any of us. But at the same time, if we can see that each one has got something special to give and to do and is needed, yeah, we want to feel needed. Yeah, everyone wants to feel as though you're needed, that your life matters. Well, now, let me tell you, your life matters more than it ever has. Because now you've got more opportunities than you've ever had. It might not feel like it, might feel scary, sure. It's bloody scary, but it's also very exciting. Lucy, thank you. She's telling you, please like the video. If you like it, we can create more together. Thank you. So, look at where you are living beyond your means. And I know I must contemplate that further. Yeah, what do I really need? And that's financially, but in every way. Where can I help somebody? Where can I give somebody a hand? And where can I get inventive? I think we've got to stop comparing ourselves. This bloody thing with competition. We're unique. We're doing this with the countries, like, you know, we're comparing Israel with France, and Sweden did this, and this one did that, and this one did the other. Guys, coronavirus is everywhere. It's not discriminating. And it's not about who did better. Thank you very much, Priestess Felisa. Thank you. It's not about who did. Thank you, Kat Erin. Thank you. It's not about who did better. It's about what can we learn from one another. Gemini North Node, what do we learn? But not that one did better than another. Let's learn from it. Let's change from it. Adaptability is going to be key. Those who can adapt will thrive, survive, and do very well. And it will be more interesting. Gemini is the sign that is the most quickly bored. Right? It's like, okay, quick, on to something else. So we won't be bored, guys. We won't be bored. We really won't. So I'll take any questions. I'll say I'm offering things to questions right now. Thank you. It comes through when I say it. It's about a minute lapse, so I'll wait a moment. But I will share with you a little funny little anecdote, because again, Gemini is about sharing little funny anecdotes. So this North Node. So my dear 98-year-old Auntie Jenny said to me, she said, you know what? She said, yesterday, she said, I got in right a panic yesterday. She said, I sneezed and I didn't cover my mouth or anything. She said, I felt terrible. But then she said, I realised I can't give coronavirus to myself, can I? She's so sweet. Joanne, thank you very, very much. Thank you. So let's share these funny little glimmers that we have. And let's have more of an interaction. I'm going to have Lucy manage the community page. There's a community tab on my channel page. If you go to the channel page, you'll find a community tab. And we'll be doing much more together. Yeah, I can feel that since what seems to be happening. There are more and more of you coming online. Thank you very much, Poochie. Thank you. So I'm excited to see what our new moniker is going to be with hands. I think it has to be something quite special. I'm not sure what it is. So Tina, thank you very, very much. And I guess I'll pop my garland here on to say and wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend. I look forward to hearing your comments, and thank you for being here live with me today. Just checking any questions. YouTube has glitched on a few keywords: political, financial, information. Okay, thank you, Robin. I'll let Lucy look at that. So, okay, take the red pill. Interesting. Okay, so thank you very much for being in my community. Much, 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 much love. Bye for now.